Hi, I'm Brice Zoecklein. Today we're going to talk about the different options for Florida probate. In Florida, there's really two main proceedings to be able to accomplish a probate administration. Number one, a formal administration, and number two, a summary administration. We'll start with the summary administration. That's sometimes referred to as a small estate proceeding, and that's available if the total countable assets in an estate are less than $75,000, or alternatively, if the person that passed away died over 2 years ago. Unlike a typical probate administration called a formal administration, the small estate proceeding does not appoint an executor. Florida calls that person a personal representative, but it's the same thing. Because there's no appointment, there's no flexibility when it comes to discovery of assets. So if you're going to do a summary administration, you need to know with particularity what the assets are. So for example, if it was a bank account, you would need to be able to identify the specific amount in the bank and the account number. If you didn't do that, summary administration wouldn't be ideal. Another drawback is not having a fiduciary appointed to reduce creditor claims. So in probates, there will be bills that are filed within the estate sometimes, and if you don't have a personal representative, you can't negotiate the creditor claims. Despite those challenges, the big reason to do a summary administration is the speed. Small estate proceedings are done much faster and because of that are more economical than a typical formal probate administration. The classic example of an estate for a summary administration, which is where you only need to transfer exempt assets like a homestead residence or a vehicle. Also, as previously mentioned, if the deceased person passed over 2 years ago, no matter the size, the estate can still qualify for a summary administration. So the major advantage of this abbreviated proceeding is the speed. Depending on the county, these can be completed in as little as 30 days. So to summarize, summary administration has the benefits of being much faster than a typical probate, and it's ideal for small estates with assets that are easily identifiable or with assets that are completely exempt, like homestead and vehicles. The other type of proceeding is a traditional probate called a formal administration. So how does that work? Well, a formal administration is required, first of all, if the total value of the assets subject to probate exceeds $75,000. How does that work? Well, a petition for administration is filed in the county where the decedent resided, and a personal representative or executor is appointed. That person is obligated to do a number of things. First of all, they have to gather the assets of the decedent, they have to pay valid creditor claims and settle any issues with the IRS, and then ultimately make distribution to the beneficiaries. The letters of administration are the documents that are provided by the court that give the power of the personal representative to gather the assets, pay creditor claims, and make distribution. That flexibility and power is a key advantage of a formal administration because it allows for the discovery of assets and again the negotiation of creditor claims. For example, if you knew that the deceased banked at PNC Bank, let's say for example, and you didn't know anything else about it, you would be able to take your letters of administration to PNC Bank and they'd be obligated to provide any assets owned by the decedent. So that flexibility is crucial there. So for cases where you don't have all the information, a formal administration is simply the way to go. In a formal administration also, the personal representative has the power to negotiate and reduce creditor claims. So sometimes that makes a big difference in an estate. If you need to open a probate or you're wondering what to do, we'd love to help you. Our office handles probate administrations throughout the state of Florida and we're here to help. Our website has a ton of great information for you, or simply give us a call. We offer free, no obligation consultations.